Well, hello there. How are you? Happy day to you wherever you are in the world. Thank you for jumping in, joining me in my Mercer t-shirt representing Go Bears. For those of you who are new to my tribe, wait a minute, because I might have to restart this live. That rhymed. Y'all didn't know I was a rapper. Let me pull up my laptop before I go into who I am. Oh, there you go. Hey, Alexis Taylor, thank you for being first on tonight's live. How are you? You're confirming that this works. I was just about to panic and go on my laptop to see if I did it right, because for some reason, Facebook has not been letting you guys know when I'm live. So maybe you missed the hour and 45-minute live last night where we laughed and talked about everything under the sun. We might do that again tonight. We may not, but I'm here. That's all that matters. Welcome to the Late Night Live with yours truly. My name is Andrika J. Austin. I go by Coach AJ. I'm a master life coach certification trainer. I train and certify coaches all over the globe. 115 so far. 116 is registered for our upcoming one-day life coach certification training, which is this Saturday, March 7th, 2020, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. Want to join us? Click the link I'm about to post in the comments below, and you can be our friend, okay? Actually, I ain't going to post that link. I'm going to tell y'all about another link I'm going to post. If you want to know about the life coach certification, it's over at bit.ly/life coach live stream. Again, bit.ly/life coach live stream. Go, be nosy, find out what this upcoming one-day life coach certification training is all about. I would love to have you in class. We're also looking for people who want some free coaching in this class. Our students, one of them, needs someone to practice on. You want to volunteer? Let me see an emoji in the comments below. I'll reach out to you after this live and let you know how it works to get you a free life coaching session with someone who is trained by me. That means she good. Okay, so that ain't what I'm here for. It's part of the reason. I created something called Boss of Me University. Boss of Me University is a 1-year-long mentorship coaching program. It's automated, but you get to see my beautiful smiling face throughout the year. Once a month, we do a call. Tonight was our very first call of 2020. And that's because we just started it last month for this new class of coaches who just got certified with me. So here's how it works. You got to be a certified life coach or some type of coach, meaning you've invested in yourself, gotten the training, the skills, and the qualifications you need to do what you do as a coach. And now you're ready to make your first or next $25,000 in your business by taking the time to write out a strategy for how you're going to do that. And it's based on my answers for how I've done it successfully in my business 3 times, meaning my business has gone through my own program 3 times, made the 25, and we teaching it. It's that simple. Hey, Tiara, how are you? Or is this Tiara? Is that you, Tiara? Hey, girl. I know you like when I sing your name when you come in the room. So, hey, girl, hey. So, tonight's call brought up a really interesting topic. It was unexpected. My coaches will be on soon. They're going to laugh because they didn't know I was going to do a live about this. So, we get toward like a third of the way finished with tonight's call. It's 2 hours once a month. And they asked, Coach AJ, how much money do you make? I was like, okay, we're about to talk some good business right now. So I didn't expect to talk that long about money and all that. And I ain't going to tell y'all how much I make because it ain't your business. But it got me thinking. And so by the time I shared revenue goals, you're welcome. Late answer, I'll do it. Free coaching to help. Thank you. You're doing it for the coaches, right, Alexis? I will allow you to do it for the coaches. Only for the coaches. Not you, but for the coaches. I'll send you a message to tell you how that works. And thank you for saying yes. And so our coaches who got certified with me at the top of February, they get the opportunity to join me for a continuing education process called Boss of Me University, where we work together for the next year with them building their coaching company to the first or next 25K. And they're just like, AJ, what is this all for? How much you make? And so we started that dialogue. And not many of you guys really know me. Like, y'all know how I show up online. But I'm a very simple liver. One of my friends is just mesmerized by, I've never been flashy. So Facebook is tripping, or it's the internet, either one. Y'all, if I go in and out, my bad. So I'm not one that's in a Maserati, a Benz, a Beamer. I drove a Beamer recently because I got a friend who has one. I was like, let me see what the fuss is about. And I got in it and I recorded myself driving it. And I was just like, okay, I'm over it. So I've never been like this high maintenance type person. I was raised on thrift stores and yard sales, and I still go to thrift stores and yard sales. Recently, I upgraded my game. My taste changed a little bit. Now I'm in the clearance section of the mall. You know, some good stores I like in the mall. But all in all, money aside, the life I live is amazing. Like I'm in love with my life. I live like $100,000 lifestyle, but on like a really simple budget, or however you want to say it. I'm probably the only coach you know whose main goal is to own a tiny house built from the ground up. Hey, Lachey. And my friends just think that is so funny. I got like 10 pair of shoes, 3 pair of pants, couple shirts, and I show up on stage in Converse and some ripped jeans and a blazer. And I'm like, if Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, who else wear the same thing every day, if they can wear what they want to wear and make the type of money they want to make and impact the world, why can't I? I can, because that's what I want to do. And so when I started to break that down and how I live somewhat of a minimalist lifestyle, it does not take much. I don't like owning a lot of stuff, because when it comes time for you to move or clean up, that's a lot to deal with. So I try to keep it low key, like low key. People are just amazed. Like, why are you not this high profile type person? And so the conversation between me and my coaches just went on this whole other fun tangent that I gave for like 45 minutes. And one of my coaches said, AJ, that will make a great TED Talk. And I said, oh, okay, tell me more. You know, I want to hear this. And so her point was, although you give all you have as a coach and you work so hard, just because you start making money doesn't mean you have to immediately start spending money. I said, okay, that'll make a great TED Talk. So I'm on here tonight to practice my TED Talk on y'all, okay? So when y'all see me on TED and TEDx and TEDx Atlanta and all that goodness, just know that it started with you. I ran it through by you first. So I sat and I thought, and I said, what are some ways that I used to overcome the poverty mentality? You know, like, I ain't got it. It's never enough. I'm not making enough money. I gotta forever be poor. Everyone has more than me. I grew up broke. Everyone around me was broke. It's in my family. I don't know nobody that's successful. I don't know what it's like to spend that kind of money. I don't even want to talk about money with my friends. You know, like stuff like that. What other things come to mind when you think of a poverty mentality? Like, it doesn't have to be that you're homeless or you're begging. Like, I got some homeless stories for you. Hey, Amy. Hey, Shani. I heard a coach say it earlier, because as soon as I got off my call tonight, I went to YouTube and I Googled $100,000 coaches. Because in the coaching industry, everybody swear they making $100,000. So I was like, well, let me see who is talking good game. And I found a coach, and she made a really good quote that said, beggars don't ask other beggars for help. I said, okay, that was good. So her point was, for you to overcome not enough, lack, poverty, I ain't got it, I ain't never made a lot of money, ain't nobody doing it that I know, nobody showed me the way. You have to realize that you as a coach have something that someone else needs. So y'all know my end of my live spiel. I say it after every live, after every talk I give, that there's someone somewhere. They're waiting on you to walk in their destiny, in your destiny, so they can walk into theirs. And it's true. So when you look at it like that, it helps you to overcome what you feel like you don't have enough of. It also, on the flip side, helps you to get in the groove of when you start making money. You don't instantly have to go out and start spending the money to try to look a certain way. I could care less what anyone thinks about how I look as a coach, broke or rich. It's all about how I choose to show up. That shows how I've been able to successfully overcome the poverty mentality. So what I did was come up with 10 ways. I sat with my thoughts on this topic, and I said, I'm going to talk about this on the live. So y'all throw in the comments really quick, like, what are some other things that maybe you've even caught yourself telling yourself about yourself? I ain't got it. I'm broke. Do coaches even make enough money? Coaching is saturated. I didn't pay enough for my class. I don't know enough. My coaches around me are more successful. I'm not where I want to be financially as a coach. Like, what are some things that you've told yourself if you really would get honest with me? Because I'm telling y'all my business. I'm putting it all out there. There's nothing to hide. I don't care. There is no shame. I have been through too much in my life to care what anyone thinks, you know. So it's all about the next level. And you cannot face something until you acknowledge it. So if you acknowledge what you're telling yourself, that'll help you take the first step forward in overcoming lack, poverty, the mindset and mentality that you don't have enough, you're not enough, that coaching may not be what you're called to do. Because we all, as coaches, we love to serve, we love to help, we want to tell our story, we want to share our experience. We know deep within that there's someone we're called to serve and help and share our story and experience with. However, we can get in our heads when we sit by ourselves too long, and we can start telling ourselves things that leave us exactly where we are. And if you don't acknowledge it, call yourself to the carpet, address it today, I can promise you that this time next year, on March 3rd, 2021, you will be in the exact mental space that you're in right now, telling yourself the same story of someday. If you guys have bought any of my books, you know about a person in my book that I call Queen Procrastinator. She is a real person. She lives here in Atlanta. When she reads the book, she'll know that it's her. We used to be really good friends until she was called on the carpet in her own life. I didn't even have to say anything. But she kept telling the story of someday I'll become the coach I'm supposed to be. Someday I'll host my first event. Someday I'll start charging people what I know I'm worth. Someday, as a matter of fact, when my boys graduate school, I'll be who I'm called to be. I'll go and get my master's. I'll finish my first undergrad degree. I'll get my doctorate. And then someday showed up where the boys were out of school. Life had passed by. 2 scares of life with breast cancer. And just not being in the position that she wanted to be in and moving forward. She just had to acknowledge where she was. So is that you? Does that sound like you? Like, I don't see any answers in the comments. So maybe you're not ready to be honest with yourself. And this is me talking to who I used to be, not thinking that what I had to offer was ready. Oh, let me go get my degree. Let me get another certification. Let me write another book. You know, let me compare myself and watch everyone else's journey and try to be like them. But I had to call myself to the carpet. So I'm going to take responsibility for me. I can't make you acknowledge where you are on your journey. But if you're at any place like I used to be, where you're trying, at least putting one step forward to overcome the poverty mentality of never getting out the hood, being afraid to leave your friends behind, and feeling like, oh, I need to see someone else do this successfully before I do it, not realizing you are that example people are waiting on, then you want to keep listening to today. So the first way to overcome the poverty mentality is to do it $20 at a time. And I say $20 at a time because I remember when I got my first job at McDonald's, I was 14 years old. And every time I got paid, I would get to go to Walmart. And I say get to because I didn't have a car. My mom would have to drop me off at Walmart and let me buy what we called personal items. So that was the little travel size deodorant and toothpaste and mouthwash and just little fun things, right? And I always looked forward to that $20 because it gave me a sense of pride. I worked for this. I'm going to take care of this, and I can take care of myself because of what that $20 bought me. Then when I started making money as a coach and I really saw what I could do, I remember going to a specialty shop in a certain part of Atlanta called the Highlands. And there's this place that sold candles and lotions. And I remember when I was just window shopping before that, looking at the prices of some of these candles, $32, $42. And I'm like, who pays that for a candle? $25 for a bottle of lotion. But it stuck in my head. And so as soon as I was in a financial position to invest in myself and go get a $20 bottle of lotion, guess what I did? I went and paid for parking at this specialty shop, which I used to hate to pay for parking. I had to get over that too, living in Atlanta. And I proudly paid $20 for my first $20 bottle of lotion. The smell is different. The texture of the lotion is different. How long it lasts is different. And I remember calling one of my business besties and she said, don't it feel good? So even the conversations about how you spend your money is different, but it depends on who's in your circle. So ask yourself, who's in your circle that can hold you accountable and have those $20 conversations like, girl, did you at least spend $20 on yourself today? That starts to break the cycle of I ain't got it, it ain't enough, and someday. I also remember being in an office supply store and the manager saw me looking at pens. I was trying to make a decision because I'm a pen snob, y'all. I just got rid of maybe like 100 pens tonight. Still have probably about 100 more, but I love a really good pen. One of my early mentors in the speaking industry said, when your pen is expensive, you start to write bigger checks. You write different when your pen costs more than $1 at the Dollar Tree. Okay. So I was looking at these pens and the manager came over and she said, I noticed you've been here a minute. Let me help you out. So she took this pack of pens called Tool, T-U-L, and she opened it and she gave me one. She's like, take this home, try it out. If you like it, come buy, a whole set of these. And I said, cool. So I'm a writer. I love pens. I filled up a journal until the pen ran out of ink. Lo and behold, someone on social media posted a picture of their brand new Tool pen. And so I went back to the store and bought the Tool pen. Guess how much the pen cost? $20 for one pen. I just put it up, but I have my Tool pen. It's rose gold. And it was $20 for one pen with 2 little ink refills. So I'm not going to run out of ink. But to be able to break I need to get a pack of pens, it's only $1, that's going to break and not write like I really want the feel in my hand to be, that's starting to break the poverty mentality, $20 at a time. So between personal items, hygiene products, lotion at $20 a bottle, and a $20 pen, I started to notice a cycle. I started to notice things breaking. This is how you break that poverty mentality. $20 at a time. You get it? Like, is this making sense? Let me see, for those of you who have been on here for a minute, is this making sense so far? Are you thinking like, oh, AJ just talking off top of her head. I could never pay $20 for a bottle of lotion or a pen or spend it on myself. I got too much going on in my life, too much financial responsibility. Let me see what you got to say. Post something in the comments real quick. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Monica. Hey, Tangi. Hey, Ravi. Hey, Sonia. Thank y'all for joining. Lost my notebook. Okay. So that's one way. The second way to overcome the poverty mentality as a coach is to reinvest in yourself 5 to 10% at a time. And what I mean is, if that's you buying someone's book online, that's $10, or you investing in a course that's $100 or maybe a couple $100, or if you want to attend an event that is going to help your business go to the next level, then you do that. If you want to treat yourself to a specialty class, like I went to a journal writing class the other day, but I left with 2 journals. The class was free, gas was not, and time sitting in Atlanta traffic was not. However, I showed up and someone who was at one of my speaking events a couple days before was like, oh my God, it's you. So we talked. She invested in a $300 product, and I left with some free journals. So you have to make it worth your while with investing in yourself. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So Hey, Stacy, y'all say hey when you come in. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if this is making sense to you, okay? So, number 4 is what I call day dates. This is how I started to break poverty. And this is for my single girls. This is for my divorced girls. This is for my married and just lonely and need to get out the house ladies, okay? I do what's called a day date. So when you're in a relationship, you usually choose like a Friday night, a Saturday night to go out. You got to wait on the other person. However, if you're single or alone in any kind of way, whatever your situation is, and you remember that $20 we just said we're going to invest in ourselves? Treat yourself in the daytime. Go to a lunch. Go to the movies. Get the popcorn. Buy the $5 M&M or the icy. Enjoy the movie. Take yourself to a cute dinner. Go get a donut. Treat yourself to something that shows you you're worth it and the work that you're putting in as a coach. It's helping you to break down that poverty mentality just a little at a time. So, perfect example. Hey, Stephanie, I went to Panera today. I know for sure every time I go to Panera, they're going to mess up something in my order. It's just like McDonald's. It's guaranteed. So, I don't even double check because Panera has a policy. If they mess up, you tell them you get something free. So, I don't say nothing. I'm vegetarian and I order about the same thing every time. They don't have too much I can have that doesn't have meat on it. And so I say my order. Sometimes I repeat it, but it's guaranteed they're going to mess it up. So I went in for 1 meal. I left with 3 because guess what? Somebody messed something up. So if I would have never gone on that day date though, which was treating myself to lunch and just sitting and having a nice salad. That's what I went for. I really wanted a salad. The salads there are the bomb. And I left with a whole 2 more meals and some cookies and a drink and found out some new information. I even got a gift card just out of the blue for Panera Bread while I was there. But if I didn't show up with expectation of treating myself, I deserve this, let me spend $20 on lunch or whatever, then how would that cycle start to break? You guys get what I'm saying? So that's what I call my day dates. Some day dates, I'm in the office supply store, which I meant to go to today, but I didn't have enough time. I had to get back here and do my conference call with my boss and me ladies. And so that's that movie, lunch, dinner. Maybe it's a play, Ballet Theatre. One of the best day dates I've been on. It turned into a night date, but I left the house really early. I had put on some clothes, and anywhere you go in Atlanta is far. So wherever you got to be, double your trip time and you'll get there as the event is starting. That's just the Atlanta disclosure for traffic. So I left super early one day, went and got some food down the street. I had made plans to go to an I always tongue tie this, Alvin Ailey production, which is ballet and theater and just amazing. And so they come to Atlanta once a year, or at least they used to. I don't know if they still do it, but I said, I'm going to take myself to the theater. And that's exactly what I did. And I showed up and I was getting ready to buy my ticket. I was standing at the box office window and this lady just tapped me on my shoulder and she said, hey, are you here for the play? You know, are you alone? And I said, yeah. She said, well, I'm from Lexus. We have VIP seating in the front. Here's you a free ticket. Now, a ticket I was going to pay $25 for turned out to be worth over $100. VIP party, gift bag, and front row seat at an Alvin Ailey play production. And it was an amazing production. Nothing like I have ever seen. And that was the best day date I've been on so far. So I have to keep making dates like that with myself. You have to make dates like that with yourself. And you don't have to be single to do this. You just have to know that you're worth investing the time with you and that you don't have to wait on your girls to agree to go or your guy to agree to go. Just treat yourself. And this is how you slowly overcome that poverty mentality as a coach. Because again, you work for it. You work hard. You put in the time and you deserve it. 5 is imagine money being replaced at the same time you're spending it. Had this happen today. I paid my tithes. And while my tithe amount is getting larger and larger, and I'm a cheerful giver, because that's what the Bible say to be, I said, Lord, I also thank you for multiplying this money and replacing it right away. Like, I don't even want to miss it because this is God's money. So I'm like, let me get you your money so my money can keep flowing. Lo and behold, as soon as I paid my tithes, a speaking engagement came through. The invoice was paid as agreed. It took them less than 24 hours to get my money. So me releasing money allowed money to flow back into my life just like I asked God for. But I had to be in the mental space of God, replace this as I'm spending it, as I'm investing it, as I'm paying my tithes. So when you imagine you not even missing the money, or as one coach says, she says, I laugh at my bank account. So when she said, just laugh at your bank account, I said, because it's funny. I'm going to laugh because that money is being replaced as I spend it, not after. There's a transaction that's happening while you're on your end making a transaction. So when you look at it like that, you slowly start to break that mentality of, oh my God, these tithes are so high. One lady said, when I write my checks for tithes, I get nervous. I don't. That's God's money. It's going to come right back to you. He trusted you with that. And it's only 10% of what you make. Imagine if that's all you had to live on. You start to look at that amount a lot different, right? So think of it as being replaced as you spend it at the same time. Number 6 is have what I call $1,000 a week mentality. I remember chatting with one of my business besties. Hey, Joanne. And I said, girl, this was on a Monday. And I said, I'm believing God for $1,000 this week. And this was like 3 years ago. And I forgot I said that and made that prayer and that challenge to myself. I put it out in the atmosphere. And by the time we talked again later that week, I could literally go through how God gave me $1,000 that week. I got approved for 2 credit cards, and I think that was $800 or something like that. And then a $400 client paid. So it was really more than I had asked for. But I set that intention. I put the prayer and the challenge out there. So yeah, Stacey, paying tithes, expecting it to come back, putting it out into the atmosphere, asking God for it. I believe in God. So that's who we're talking about today, okay? And expecting it to be in your hands. You know, have you ever tried that? Saying, God, I believe you for $100 today. And then all of a sudden you get a phone call or someone knocks on your door. Some of us find it in our car, find it in a bank account we forgot we had. Someone pays you back. A client buys a product or a service, and it just magically shows up or appears in your life. That's how you start to overcome the poverty mentality. Make it a game. Make it a challenge. Take it out of your hands. When you're saying, God, I believe you to replace this at the same time I'm spending it, to give me $1,000 this week, to allow me to treat myself on a day date, to go and spend $20 on a bottle of lotion and a pen, not or, and. And I had a friend's mom who used to say, get both of them. They come in 2 colors. Get both of them. And that's what I've started to do, regardless of how much it costs. So when you think like that, it starts to slowly chip away. Now, this takes time. This does not happen overnight. Some of us have 40 years of poverty thinking to undo. Some of us are still surrounded by family and friends who think a certain way and can easily undo what you're trying to redo. So we have to be careful about that. But if you do it day by day, just like that negative poverty thinking got into your depths, imagine what positive prosperity thinking will do. If every day you're telling God what you're believing him for financially, if every single day you're telling yourself, I'm worth it, this money is coming back, if every day you're showing yourself the love and the value you know you have as a coach by investing in something that makes you happy. For example, I invested in the new Starbucks drink today. They sent an email this morning saying, hey, we got this new ginger drink. I love ginger everything except this drink. I went and paid $5 for this little bitty drink, and I was like, this little bitty drink was $5. I should have stuck with my medicine ball, but I tried something new, treated myself, hated the drink, but I was glad I can say I've tried the ginger drink at Starbucks, okay? All because I'm worth a $5 ginger drink to say that I've tried this drink at Starbucks to see if I was going to go back and get it. But if I would have said, no, that's too much, I don't want it, $5 is a lot for a drink, then I would not be able to say that I treated myself to a Starbucks drink. Okay. The seventh thing out of 10 is what my friend Chantal Small, she may jump on here, she calls Ballerpreneur. She says, AJ, you are a ballerpreneur. Now, she will have to break down the definition of what a ballerpreneur is, but just making business look fun, whether you're making money or not, whether you're spending money or not, whether clients are coming in or not. As a coach, you still look like a baller on a budget. Whether that means you got to go to the thrift store or the favorite store that you love and go to the clearance section, you have to project what they say, show up as where you're going. So you have to show up. Now, for me, I wear Converse now. This just started like a month ago. Hey, Deshauna, I don't wear heels. I just donated my last pair of heels earlier today. They sat in my car for a couple weeks. But I wear cute tennis shoes. I wear jeans and a t-shirt. This is how I show up. This could be what I go speak in tomorrow, and I would be perfectly fine with that. So you still have to know, though, you're valuable. You got something someone needs. Someone's going to pay you. Your money is in someone else's bank account. You just have to call it forth. But if you're not speaking to it, if you're not telling it you're worth it as a coach, then where do you think it's going to show up? It's going to stay exactly where it's at. So have the ballerpreneur mentality, and go treat yourself. If you got to go spend $2 at IKEA on a pillowcase just to say you treated yourself to something cute today, then go do that. Be that ballerpreneur, because you deserve a certain lifestyle as a coach. Number 8 says clean and use what you've got. I learned this coming up 18, 19 years old in church. My pastor said, some of y'all believe in God for these fancy cars, but you don't clean the Honda you driving. I drive a Honda, okay? So I spend my $20 on getting her washed and waxed, and then I spend my hour cleaning and vacuuming inside and out. I tried the whole let somebody else do it for you, but they don't clean her as good as I do. So I sacrifice that hour of my time. Yes, it's worth it for me. This is how I live. She's a 2-seater, so I don't have much to clean. But I use what I have. I go through my closet. What have I not worn? Whether it's the 3rd pair of jeans for the week, whatever. Use what you've got and be appreciative of that as new things start to unfold. My mom taught me that coming up. She used to take bed sheets that we had too long. She said, I'm going to toss these, and we know God is going to provide. Now, it's sad when you really have to pray and believe God for a set of $20 bed sheets. But when you got kids and you're a single mom, I totally understand. So that taught me, though, to throw away the stuff that's stained, that has holes in it, rips in it, maybe some burn stains, some coffee stains. Throw it away. And just know that the next is on the way. Remember, when we're releasing money, we're believing God is replacing it at the same time. So if you got bed sheets, or some of us, I have had stories years ago, holes in your panties, and you've been wearing the same panties for years. It's time to re-up. Now I have a whole drawer full of multiple panties, and they're new. That's TMI, but some of us need to hear that. Stop wearing the t-shirts with the holes in them or the deodorant stains on them, and just know that as a coach, you are worth so much more. I heard another coach say, you're worth that second tea bag. She mentioned, she sits with her. Now, this is my Girl Boss cup that sits on my little platform that I got here. I can't call it a desk because that's not what it is. I don't even have a desk because I don't want one. And she said, I sit with my tea bag and I drink it, and then I go refill it without changing the tea bag. And she said, one day I just had an aha moment, like, Denise, you are worth that second tea bag. Go get you a new tea bag. And that makes all the difference when you think of it like that. You are worth a fresh cup of tea without having to reuse a tea bag, without having to rewear the panties with the holes in them, the t-shirts with the deodorant stain. You get where I'm going. Okay. I'm going to leave that one where it is. But everything from your car, your house, your shoes, etc., you definitely want to use what you have. And as you use them, as you clean them, you're showing gratitude. Lord, thank you for this car. Thank you for these clothes. Because at some point you prayed for it, you got it, and now you want something else. So be grateful. Show that gratitude by using and cleaning what you have. Go get your shoes shined. If you got some black dress shoes or some brown dress shoes, go get them boots shined, girl. Show yourself that you're using what you have and you're grateful for it. Number 9 is give away something tangible and in good condition. So I remember I used to do a clothing drive at a church that I used to go to years ago, and people would just bring in random stuff that we would donate, to the homeless or local thrift stores. But it was just a project that was near and dear to my heart. And I remember the pastor of that church saying, make sure that when you guys bring AJ your things, that it's something that is still wanted. It's not ripped. It doesn't have holes in it. It's something that you would wear today if you still could. And so that made me take on a whole new mentality when it comes to giving things away, things that people can touch and feel and appreciate. People can say, oh my gosh, why is she giving this away? This is so nice. Not something that's like, now she knows she need to be ashamed for donating this shirt with bleach stains on it because she used to clean her house in it. Y'all get where I'm going? Maybe I'm the only one that knows something about that, so I'm going to move on. But when you give and it's something that people want, it starts to break the chains of that poverty mentality. You feel good about that. And then finally, number 10 is believe that you deserve to be rich. You deserve to have money. You have value. You deserve to be paid for who you are, for what you know, for what you have to offer as a coach. When you start to believe this, it starts to unravel some things in your mind. Like, I do deserve this. I deserve to be rich. I deserve to be successful. Now, I created this mixtape a couple days ago. It's called Get Rich. It has over 613 affirmations that the rich tell themselves. I learned this from millionaires. I read the book called Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi. I took notes, and when I looked up, I had all of these pages of just little sayings that you can say to yourself every day. And that will help you to start to break the shift of how you think of yourself as a successful coach. You want more information? It's over at courses.thebossof.me. Again, that's courses.thebossof.me. I'll try to type it in the comments. Y'all know my phone shakes when I type it in. But this mixtape it's maybe about an hour long. You can listen to it in chunks, and it starts to help you to tell yourself who you are and what you have to offer in this world as you show up. Because sometimes we need help with believing up for our next level. We need help from people who have been there. And so that's why I started with my story of poverty. Like, I know what it's like to get Medicaid and food stamps and live on government assistance and in the hood. And we used to get something called a utility check, I think, to help you pay your utilities. I'm saying I think because my mama didn't really talk about money. Notice I said my mama, not my parents. So dad wasn't there. So it's certain things that we have been groomed throughout life to accept as okay. But your job as a coach who is successful in helping other people is to reprogram your mindset, to tell you what you can do. You can afford to spend $20 at a time. You can afford to give away 10% and invest it in yourself, and 5 to 10% at a time. I actually skipped, I think, that one, number 2. Giving 10% away. Nope, we talked about that with tithes, but also with tips. One of my coaches challenged me to give more than I usually would with tips. So now when I'm at restaurants or even ordering food to go, I usually do double the tip, because sometimes it'll come out to about the same price as the meal, but it feels so good. For me, I'm going to speak for AJ Austin, okay? When I leave a tip that's almost the same price as my food, I feel empowered as a Black woman. I often wonder, what's the conversation when I walked away? Like, Black women do have money. Dang, Black people do tip. I'm setting a new precedence for my people, my culture, my community, and my coaches, okay? So I get to speak on this from firsthand experience. So I left that example out from earlier, but you have to challenge yourself to give. We talked about day dates and treating yourself throughout the day with something that makes you happy, a latte, a smoothie, a donut, a bowl of ice cream. We talked about imagining this money being replaced at the same time that you're spending it. We talked about $1,000 a week, challenging, putting it out there to see what happens, what comes back. The Ballerpreneur challenge, shopping at your favorite store in the clearance section if you have to, or buying just one cute little item at a time if that's what you got to do. Cleaning and using what you already have. giving something away that someone wants, and then believing that you deserve to live rich, you deserve success, you deserve to make money. And then finally, my bonus to you would be to live simply. Make your goal to live in comfort and in style. How you dress, how you look, your car, your home, versus flashy. Because as I mentioned earlier, just because you start making money as a coach doesn't mean you should start spending money as a coach. Now, I understand there are highs and lows, ups and downs, roller coasters, dips. I don't know what other analogy to use, but I get it. I've been there. And so as you grow your coaching company, I want to encourage you to give yourself permission to get rich, to be successful, to make money. And if you need me to hold your hand, let's do it together. Head over to courses.thebossof.me. Get your hands on the mixtape. It's called Get Rich. You'll see my beautiful photo on it. And I'm helping you. Hey, India, I mentioned you earlier when you featured your rose gold tool pen. And when I saw your post on social media that day, I went right to Office Max and got mine. And it makes such a difference. My friend says you sign checks different when your pen costs more than $1. Okay, so we got that $20 tool pen in rose gold. I have literally been signing checks and contracts. And so I carry my pen, and it makes a difference when it comes to overcoming the poverty mentality, especially as a coach. So I want to allow for any type of questions. Does anyone have anything you want to add to tonight's discussion? This topic is a little bit deeper than you guys are used to hearing me talk about, especially if you were on with me last night. We were on here for an hour and 45 minutes laughing and talking about everything under the sun. So tonight was more on the serious side, because this is a topic that a lot of coaches deal with. This is a topic that came up during tonight's coaching call with the coaches who work with me for a year, building their brand and their business. And we actually had the moment to set aside time, and I flipped the question back on them. I'm like, now that y'all know I make my money, how much I make, and what I do with it, how I live, where do you see yourself? So let me flip it on y'all, coaches. Where do you see yourself financially? And this is not just a pie in the sky, because everybody want to be a millionaire. Everybody want to be a six-figure coach. But realistically, have you thought through where you can see yourself? Like, imagine this time next year, and you wrote out a plan to realistically make the money that you know you can make, because you started to do these small little things step by step, day by day. And you started to break that poverty mentality down, and then you look up, and what's in your bank account? That's what I want to see. So if you don't want to post it here, you can tell me in the inbox. And if you actually want to become a part of the group of ladies that mentor with me for a year, I told y'all our first call was tonight. We meet once a month, and then you get my step-by-step program that gives you what to do every day in your business and start building out this plan for yourself. Then head over to courses.thebossof.me. It's pinned in the comments below. You'll see that. You'll see the Get Rich opportunity. You'll also see the upcoming one-day life coach certification training. It's a lot of good accountability tools over there. So again, courses.thebossof.me. Stacy says cheaper than you guys are used to hearing me talk about, especially if you were on my, oh, okay, that must be translating my live. That's awesome, Stacy. I don't know what app that is. I think it's translating, unless that's mine in the background, because I was on Otter before I got on here and it was transcribing some calls for me. So that's interesting. So any other questions? Any other discussion ads? I know, again, this is a topic that's a little bit deeper than you're used to. Y'all know I get on here and laugh and teach. And I think I did a little bit of that tonight, but hopefully this hit home for those of you who are battling with, if you're doing it right as a coach. Where's the money coming? When's the money coming? How can I show up? Man, was this a good idea to become a coach? Am I doing it right? What do other people have that I don't have? You know, that mental battle in your mind. So if you got any comments or questions, you got about 60 seconds to add them below. And I'm going to wrap up. This is a late night live, since I know y'all are up. I'm up. and talking to you. To my replay viewers, hey, make sure you head over to courses.thebossof.me. Get your hands on some of the goodies that are there. A lot of new material was added to the courses site this last week. I just got my voice back because I recorded a lot of e-audio programs for you guys, helping you to get to the next level as a coach. And I would be honored to be on that journey with you as you start to break the poverty mentality, start to learn what it takes to get rich, get richer, use what you got, make money, make a difference, make an impact in the world. So I want to give you just a few more seconds to put any questions or comments you have below. I'm happy to engage with you. Replay viewers, you do the same if you want to, excuse me, continue the conversation. Stacy says good info. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate you. Hey, Lizandria, thank you for joining. Hey, GN, thank you for joining. Hey, Joanne. Excuse me, y'all were on here. I didn't even see you. Hey, Tangie. Hey, Monica. Everybody that I did not say hey to, hey girl, hey. Tiara says, thank you for my song. I love singing your name. So when I see Tiara Maria, come in. Tiara Maria, come on in. That's your song. Okay. So since I don't see any questions, I know Facebook is on a slight delay and my internet was tripping a little bit. It's raining. So something about weather and AT&T does not mix. So I'm going to go ahead and go while the getting is good. Thank you guys so much for joining. Hopefully you got what you needed. If you want to continue the conversation, feel free to send me an inbox. I will not coach for free in my inbox. I will send you over to courses.thebossof.me where you can get all of your growth needs met, because I put it all in a program or a book for you. So make sure you head over there and get whatever you need from the courses store before prices increase. They just increased yesterday. My coach challenged me to make that happen, and I did. So I'm here to serve you at your next level over at courses.thebossof.me. Thank you for joining. Go back and watch the replay if you need to take notes and write all of this down, because it was a lot, but I was inspired. So shouts out to Coach Sia. Thank you so much for giving me the idea for this topic tonight. Hey, Jocelyn, watch the replay, girl. Until we meet again, my friends, remember, there's someone somewhere. They're waiting on you, coach, to walk in your destiny so they can walk into theirs. Because it's when you let your light shine, you give others permission to do the same. I am Master Life Coach Certification Trainer Andrika J. Austin. I go by Coach AJ. Make sure your notifications are turned on to join me. I usually go live around this time lately. So if you're a night owl, you want to join me for a late night live, meet me back here around 11:30, 45, 12-ish Eastern Standard Time, and I'll see you soon. Alexis, I'm in your inbox, girl. Chat soon. God bless. Bye, y'all.